Hello students, welcome back to lecture 2 on the topic dissolution. In lecture 1, we saw the definition of dissolution, the stages or the steps in which dissolution occurs, and we also studied an equation, that is the Nash-Whitney equation, which helps us to determine the rate of dissolution. Coming to the second part, we will see a new term, that is the intrinsic dissolution rate. It is the rate which is independent of rate of agitation, area of solute available, etc. Basically, dissolution is dependent on a number of factors, but the term intrinsic dissolution rate can be independent of parameters such as rate of agitation, area of solute, etc. It is defined as IDR is defined as rate of mass transfer per area of the dissolving surface. It is independent of the boundary layer thickness and the volume of solvent. So the equation will be simply IDR, that is the intrinsic dissolution rate, is equal to K1 CS, K1 being the dissolution coefficient and CS being the saturated concentration. IDR measures the intrinsic properties of the drug only as a function of the dissolution medium, example, the pH, ionic strength, etc. of the dissolution medium. Next, we will see the different factors affecting dissolution. In the earlier lecture, we had seen the Nash-Whitney equation. The parameters involved in the equation are first, surface area of undissolved solid, which is affected by parameters such as the size of the solid particles. We know that smaller the size, more the surface area. So more the surface area that will be present for dissolution. The dispersibility of powder, the amount of solid in dissolution medium, and porosity of solid particles. It is found that many particles are highly porous, whereby the dissolution medium easily passes through them, increasing the surface area of dissolution. The second parameter, solubility of solid in dissolution medium. Now the term solubility, as you are already aware, is affected by number of parameters. To say temperature, the nature of dissolution medium, the molecular structure of the solute, that is the physicochemical parameters, the crystalline form of solids, whether it exists in the form of polymorphs or some other form, and presence of other compounds which may increase or decrease the solubility of the drug. The third one being concentration of solute in solution at a given time t. This is affected by volume of the dissolution medium, any process that would remove the dissolved solute from the dissolution medium. And lastly, the dissolution rate constant, which is affected by thickness of the boundary layer, the dissolution coefficient of solute in the dissolution medium. So this table in short gives us the different terms which are present in the equation which determines the dissolution rate and the parameters which affect each of the terms respectively. Next, coming to an important part, how is dissolution rate measured? Now, we'll see different methods by which the dissolution rate is measured. Firstly, a simple one, Beaker method, which was developed by Levy and Hayes. It consisted of a 400 ml beaker with 250 ml dissolution medium, which was agitated by a stirrer of 50 mm diameter, immersed to a depth of 27 mm into the dissolution medium, which was rotated at an RPM of 60. The second method was the flask stirrer method, wherein instead of beaker, it was replaced with a round bottom flask. The third one is a rotating basket method. Now the rotating basket method officially is also called as the USP apparatus 1. The same apparatus in IP, that is in Indian Pharmacopoeia, is referred to as apparatus 2. It has a small wire mesh basket attached to end of a shaft which is connected to a motor. This basket is immersed in a flask maintained at 37 plus minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. Samples are withdrawn at regular intervals and the concentration of the drug is determined by assay. Fourth method is the paddle assembly method. This is officially called as the USP, that is the United States of Pharmacopoeia Apparatus 2. Whereas in Indian Pharmacopoeia, it is known as Apparatus 1 for dissolution testing. The basket in the above method is replaced by a paddle. The paddle is continuously rotating with a shaft and the tablet is placed at the bottom of the medium. Another method is the rotating and static disc method. Now, this method is specifically used for measuring the parameter which we saw earlier, the intrinsic dissolution rate. Now, in this method, the compound to be assessed for its dissolution is compressed into a non-disintegrating disc, meaning when you place a tablet into the dissolution medium, it undergoes a process known as disintegration, which further undergoes drug release by dissolution. In this method, the compound is so compressed that it will not disintegrate. And this compressed moiety is placed in a disc, is made into a disc and mounted in a holder so that only one face is exposed to the dissolution medium. And it is held in a fixed position in the static disc method, whereas it will be rotated at a given speed in the rotating disc method. In both the methods, samples are withdrawn at fixed time intervals, filtered, and then further assayed. Like I said, these methods, the surface area remains constant and hence the intrinsic dissolution rate can be measured. Now, this slide gives you a list of officially used dissolution apparatus. The images shown, the first one with the black border is the picture of rotating basket assembly and the second one is the paddle assembly. You can see the classification on the left. This is as per USP, apparatus 1, 2, 3, right up to apparatus 7. Currently, you need to be aware of the first two official apparatus, and like I said, apparatus 1 in USP is labeled as apparatus 2 in Indian Pharmacopoeia, whereas apparatus 2 is labeled as apparatus 1. So in Indian Pharmacopoeia, the paddle dissolution flask or dissolution assembly is the apparatus 1 and the rotating basket is apparatus 2. This table over here just shows that the choice of the dissolution apparatus type is based on the type of dosage form which you want to test for dissolution. So depending on the solid dosage form or a transdermal patch or any other specialized dosage form that you have developed, you will choose a particular dissolution apparatus to study the release profile of the drug. In dissolution, the dissolution media are various buffers of appropriate pH depending on the pH in the GI tract where the drug would be absorbed. The recent developments in dissolution testing are, instead of buffers of appropriate pH, you use more biorelevant media such as FASSIF and FESSIF, these being fasted state simulated intestinal fluid and fed state simulated intestinal fluid. Thank you for your patient listening.